Good morning everyone and welcome to our February post out class. It's all about the men in our lives at the moment and we're doing card number 7 today. This was meant to be done last Sunday, but I was a little bit out of action with this hand. The hand's a lot better. Look at that. It's just about healed. So that's so good. So we're doing 7, 8, 9 this morning, and then this afternoon we'll do 10, 11, 12. Hi Tanya, how are you? How's things going? So this is exciting. I'm excited to do this one today. We're going to get started right away because we've got a little bit of extra embossing to do. So make sure that you have an embossing folder. Today I'm going to use the exposed bricks, but you can use anything you like. Now, if you've only got the mini die cutting machine, you could use the any of the mini ones that you have. You can even use retired ones for your men, like, you know, your wood grain and your painted textured ones. You could use them too, because oh, you're just putting all the cold stuff away. That's all right. We've just got a couple of minutes. Hi, Susan. So you can use a retired embossing folder if you got one. There's nothing saying that you have to do exactly as I do. You can use whatever you have at home. And that's the one thing that I love about these post-out classes, that people are finding really helpful, that they get to use a lot of their products that they've already purchased. I'll give you tips and ideas along the way as well. So I've decided to use this one today. I'm going to use the painted texture, the exposed bricks, I think. But you can use whatever you have at your home. You're going to need your crumb cake ink and your early espresso ink. You're going to need some sponge daubers, your normal glue, your liquid glue. You're going to need some dimensions. In your kit, everything has been die cutted out for you to save some time. So I'm going to go through in a minute. We're going to open up our kit. So let's come down. Now, I still haven't received a lucky winner yet. So I just got to get this camera right. Sorry guys, the camera I moved it on the weekend, and when you move it, you got to get it all set back up again. So let's come down here. Okay, so let's have a look and see what's in this kit. So you would have got your little instruction sheet. This is the sort of the card that we're making today. So this one here. So it's got a bit of a rundown on measurements for you guys that have got your kit, so you can remake it and redo it again. Okay, so in here you would have got a little sample packed this week of one of our, oh, I've gone blank, the scrapbooking or card making. I will think of that in a minute. If you can think what this is, you tell me. Can you tell me? It's a flip-flap. Of course it's a flip-flap. But these flip-flaps are fantastic. So you would have got a little sample flip-flap. Why do I give out little samples during my post-out one? It's so that you can sort of see some of the products that you maybe been looking at and not sure whether or not it's something for you. But flip-flaps are fantastic for scrapbooking, but they're also fantastic for shaker cards, for card making. So enjoy using your flip-flap. We also got our envelope. Now you would have got a little bag with all your pieces cut out in it. Now just be mindful when you got all this that doesn't go everywhere. You would have got your card base, and you would have got also your inside one. Now I didn't put a white one because you can write on crumb cake. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with one of our crumb cakes. Mats, either one is fine, and we're going to put out our little bits and pieces out of our bag. Now we're going to need the negative as well as the positive, and that's why everything's in your bag. So we're just going to pull it all out here. So the first thing I want you to do is pull out your negative with the big crank thing on it, the big crank wheel. So are you with us, Tanya, or are you still working? It's all right. I'm going to start anyhow. And you can catch up on the replays or the videos because there's a lot to get through today. And, yeah, I want to keep it running quite smoothly. So we're going to use our negative first. And we're going to grab the early espresso. Now, when you're doing this, you can do it two ways. You can do it with your negative, or you can colour your positive at the same time. And sometimes I like to do it this way. I'm giving you options, okay? So we're going to be colouring this in early espresso. So I'm going to also start off with coming in with my options of doing my shadowing also with this, okay? So you can sort of see now we've got a sort of like a negative underneath, which is really great. Now, if you've still got some of these and they've got little bits in them, you might want to grab your little brush that goes with your pick tool. If you haven't got one, you can use a pointer, scissors, whatever. Sorry, I don't always have time to get all these little pieces out when I'm cutting up the classes. I try my best, but it doesn't always happen. But these little brushes are really good. They just pop everything out really quick and easy. Or you can use the other side and you can just pop them out this way. So whichever way or your scissors, whichever way is easiest for you. If there's some, you might not have any left in yours. You might have been a lucky one that they all fell out when I lifted it. That's fine. Just giving you some options on how you can get them out. I just want to move that over there. Okay, so we're going to use this little piece next. It's sort of like straight on one side and a bit of an angle. So this is going to go onto here. Now, I'm just going to grab that sponge dauber and just come along the edge. Who loves the, I call it old world antique type look. And we're just going to do it along these edges here. Now we're just going to add a little bit of dobs of glue on this. We're not going to add too much glue, but just a little bit. Now, if you're not sure with your glue either, I want to show you another tip. On your dimensions, this plastic bit here, it's fantastic. So you can actually just make sure that your bottle's coming out properly so you're not getting very much. And then you can just come through and pick up just a little bit, little dots. That's all you want, little dots. I'm just going to show you in just 1 minute. You do not want to go through and add too much. So you just want tiny little dots. Let me hold that up for you. Can you see just the little dots on there? So that's all you really want. You do not want more than that on there. Okay, and then this bit's going to go to the top piece up here. I love building up a card. Who likes building their cards from the base up? It's like a 3-dimension when you build from the base up. Okay, so we're going to put our lid on here for a minute because we're going to do some embossing. Like I said, you can do this through 2 ways. Just bring this up a little bit. You can use a negative. It'll give you a completely different look when you use the negative this way. Okay, you'll have pieces going up. but you can do it either way. Keep your negative because they are really handy to do great backgrounds for men's cards. Okay, so we'll put that piece aside and we're going to grab some of the things that we have to emboss. Okay, I'm just going to put my lid on my glue and we're going to grab the bee. This is good to the happy birthday because you can always come through and use this on another card, okay? So that's a good negative as well to keep. I'm going to grab the H and we're going to also grab our banner. Who loves these? These are from the big banner, the banner pack die. I will show you them in the next class. I forgot to grab them out. And the alphabets, I forgot to grab them out, but we can share them with you after. Put this aside. Make sure you've got all your little bits because we want to bring up that embossing machine onto here so we can emboss. So choose your embossing folder. Okay, any is fine. Anything that, the wood grain's a good one to do with the men. The exposed bricks is a good one. Any of the mini type ones, like your painted textured ones, any of those ones are fantastic. Okay, I've just got to grab my grey embossing mat. Hang on a minute, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, I thought I had everything out. Not quite. Okay, so we're going to put this in. Now you can do it all at once if you want to, depending on how you put it. And you've got to also make sure which way the texture's going to, whether it's going to suit. But I'm going to do mine separate because I need to come down this way. So I'm going to do it this way. So just check out your pattern on your embossing folder. And I'm just putting in my banner first. Okay, so plate number 1, our embossing folder. And then with the Stampin' Up, and then plate number 2. Plate number 4, the grey one. Oh, no. No, I forgot. I've got to take this little plate out. We don't want number 2 in there. It won't go through. We just need plate number 1. I thought I'd removed it. And plate number 4. Okay, just those ones. If it doesn't go through, like it just wouldn't for me, don't try to force it because it means you might have an extra plate in, like I had plate number 2 in there. Just remove it away, okay? Because you do not want that in there. Okay, so you can sort of see you get that beautiful texture. I don't know if you can see the texture. I'll hold it up in just a minute. And we're going to put our happy birthday in here. And what I do when I'm doing this, I'll hold it up in just 1 minute for you. Well, make sure you have it the way you need it to go. I always get confused with the H, because I'm going to put the little bit down the bottom, but I never know whether it should be up the top. Okay, I'm going to put it up the top. For this. No, it doesn't look right. I'm going to put it down the bottom. Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about in just 1 minute. Okay, I like to put mine in like this. I like to have the H. I'm talking about this little piece here. I never know whether it should be down the bottom or up the top, but anyhow, I like to put them pretty close so that their pattern flows through. Okay, so let's go through. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday morning, and I know there's a lot of people that can't come on today because doing this, they've got other things on, and that's fine, and you can go back and watch the replays. By tomorrow, they should hopefully all be over onto my YouTube, so you can just go over there and pick which one. And I've done them by Oh, that's heavy. I need 5 pairs of hands some days. Okay. Let's hope they all just sit there nicely. So we're going to open this up, and you can see we've got our happy birthday here. Looks really good. It's got some exposed bricks on it. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. We have our banner. I'm happy with that. You can use whichever embossing folder you love. Okay. Now, some people like to come over here over this with Versamark and then clear embossing powder, and it gives it a real glassy sort of type look. So that's entirely up to you. We haven't got time to do all these little tips and tricks or gold nuggets as we go through today. But yeah, we'll just share it as we go. Now we have in our bag also, we'll grab all these little pieces back again now. Our little brown one, our chain, I call this a chain. And then we have our little dark brown one down here as well. I don't know, this is gorgeous. I love these. Just loosen them off with my brush. I should have my little, sponge, little mat to put it on, but I haven't today. But that's okay. They come out pretty easy. Okay, so this one is going to go down into this corner, but before we put it into this corner, we're going to come in with the other side of this because we need to darken this one up. And with our early espresso, we're going to bring this in down here as well. Okay, and this is giving you a background texture. Okay, so we're going to come in and do a bit of texture around here. And it gives you that texture on your beautiful card. Okay, you can come in and just darken that corner up if you want to over here. And then we're going to do the same little thing with our dots. So remember, don't do it straight over this, because what happens is you do it straight over your card, you might get a big blob. Do it over, like I said, the dimension paper, because you can just wipe it off with a tissue and just do little dots. Okay, so you just want to do little dots on here. You don't want to press hard because you don't want it to squeeze out. Sorry. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. That's an old saying, isn't it? Okay, and one just down here. Straight edge to the straight edge, and this piece is going in here. Perfect for that. Okay, so far we've done our negative or our positive. We've actually coloured by using this, but you can use whatever you want. Like, let me just get this one here. Now this one here, I'm just going to show you where it won't show up because we're putting the mask. We're putting the banner, I should say, over the top. But I just want to share with you, like if you go over and do this one, around like that, you still get a different effect, but you get the coloured in dark bits where I've got the lighter ones. So work out whether you want to use a negative or a positive. Okay, the positive is the piece that pulls out of your die. Your negative is the piece that stays behind. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to use dimensions on the back of our banner here. So let's grab some dimensions. And I like to, I've just got to see which side I'm using. This is the wrong side. Okay, so I like to add a few extra onto my banner up the top. And I like to bring one down in each of the the corners or the little peaks, and then in the middle, and then from there you can add, okay, I like add one in the middle there and one in the middle there. Now you can add more if you want more, but this is what I'm adding today, and it holds it really well. Even through the post, it holds it really well. Okay, so we'll pull all the backs off. And this is going to now sit on here. Okay, so this is going to sit on here. It's going to come across the top a little bit on there. You want to see a little bit of your image up the top there. I'm going to hold it up. You want to see a little bit of this on here. It will overlap this bit down here. Yeah, so, and then on this one, we're just going to put a dimension in the middle. Just like that. Because we want to tuck stuff underneath it a little bit. Now this is going to line up off center to the negative that we did up the top there. Okay, so it's going to come in a little bit like a shadow effect. So you can sort of see now, it's like a little bit of a shadow effect happening up here. That's how you get that shadow effect. Hi Sue, how are you? Good to see you come on. I'm just looking up, so when I look up I can actually see names come up. So you get that nice effect, and then in your little package you'll have some extra little pieces again, more pieces. Just make sure that when you're chipping them out that you don't lose any of them. Oh my God, there's so many little bits. Okay, so now we've got this little piece here, and you can pop that little circle out of the middle. Okay. We also have our chain. Now I've given you a fair bit of chain to work with, and the reason I've done that is because sometimes it just depends where you put this. It's no good me cutting you a little piece because it might not fit. So I've cut so you can cut it off. So we're just going to take these little bits out. This one I'm just pushing up and pulling it out that way. I just want to show options on how to get these little pieces out if you don't have all the equipment with you because you're new but you're doing the post out. So you might not have all the bits and pieces that you need. But then this is going to go onto here. You're going to glue this onto here. So once again, we're going to do that, our technique of coming down and getting just a little bit flowing through. And we're going to do it on the brown, the espresso, and we're just going to do it on the little back bits, on these little solid bits. You just want to be really careful because you just need a tiny little bit. Not too much, don't squeeze too hard. If you feel like you have to squeeze it, then do it over your dimension pack first, because if it's going to come out in a big blob, it will come out the first squeeze as a big blob if you press too hard. Okay, so do it over something, and you can always pick that up and just dab it onto it as well. Okay, so you can pick the glue up and you can just dab it. And a little bit on the end there. Hold it around and then line it up over the top. I've got the shakes this morning, the hands just sort of working. That's okay. And then just push it down in like this. Now you can tuck it in just under that little bit there, or tuck it in down here or up here. Wherever you want to tuck it in, you can tuck it in. But this gives you the opportunity to cut it off where you need to for your project. Okay, and I'm going to cut it off at this. But you can keep the other little bit because you can use it on another card. So I'm just going to cut that bit off. Keep that bit aside, and then I can go in and glue this. I have got a really frog in the throat this morning. Okay, so add this in underneath. And that's why I give you a little bit longer one, because you never know where you want to cut it off. Okay, depends where you come in with it on your card. So I'm coming up pretty high with it there. So we want the H next, but before we start we want this bit while we're doing, we want this little piece for the center. So while I've got some glue on my dimension pad here, I'm just going to tap it around. Tap it around just on my little bit that's going to go into the center here. And you'll see that each little notch goes on one of these spikes. Okay, so this is what we got so far. Looking good? Okay, now we want to sponge with our sponge dauber our H and our B. Now quite often when you're doing this, I like to, and I didn't put an extra piece of paper in, which I was going to, but I've completely forgot at the time. But if you just grab a white piece of paper, you can get the benefit of this on 2 cards. So let me just show you this little trick, because it is awesome to do. So we're just going to come in, because we want to sponge this up a little bit around the edge. And we then using like the negative and the positive, and you can come back and do a little bit more to this card as well. But just come in and sponge it down. And you'll see you'll get that H, and then come in and do your B. Well, it's pretty close to the edge there, trees. That's okay. You'll get the drift of what I'm trying to share with you anyhow. So come in and go around. Don't forget to do this bit in here. And up the edge here. So we've coloured it for our thing, but we've also done a negative for another card. Okay, so you've got another negative for another card. So that can go into a square or a banner. I've done it a bit close to the edge, but that's okay. I just wanted to share that little tip with you, because it is such a good one when you're colouring in these edges to go around, because we want that happening, because it brings out the exposed bricks on mine, or whatever pattern you're using on yours. Let me hold that up. Can you see? I don't know if you can see the pattern on there, but hopefully you can. Okay, we're going to use dimensions on the back of these, because I love the happy birthday bean standing up a little bit. Okay, now don't forget our videos can go from anything from half an hour to 40 minutes. And I try to not go too fast, because I know you're trying to follow along. The good thing about the replay is that you can pause, stop and rewind as many times as you need. So that's the good thing about that. When I put them over onto my YouTube channel, I do put card 1, card 2, card 3, because we stop in between each card. Now I'm going to put the B where I want it. So I want the B about here, and then I can line up my H where I want my H. So I'm going to put my H in here, and now I'm going to put dimensions on my B. You can have it overlapping, you can have it underneath. It's entirely up to you where you want to put it, and you'll need to place your placements where you want them to look on your card. Every card that you make will look different because it's very rare, very rare to make two exactly the same when you're doing sponging and techniques, but not you really want two cards exactly the same when you're giving them out. Okay, and then we're going to bring out in our B here, our happy birthday. Okay, now we're going to grab our card. I'm just going to, this is the inside piece, so we're just going to grab that sponge dauber and we're just going to come around the edge with the sponge dauber like this. Okay, just to highlight around the edge. You can add more if you want to because it's grey. We're not going to put white over it. You can write on it. You can also do some negatives if you want it to look like it's matching the front of the card, because the good thing about that is that you can write over the top of it, but just don't do too heavier ink. Okay, so we're just coming around here. Now, as you can see, I haven't really reloaded my sponge dauber. I've just been going around with what's on there and just using up the ink that's in that sponge dauber all the way around. And then when you've done it, you can come in and just do a little bit of a curling motion. Just swirl it if you want that little bit of edge faintly through there. And it just gives it a nice little shadow effect, and also a little bit of that where you can write over the top of it if you need to. It's not too heavy. So that's like the inside, but you might want to add a little bit of negative on there. You might decide that you want to just add a little bit of this down in the bottom corner, and that's when you will need to pick up some more ink. I'm going to have a mouthful of my cup of tea. Oh, who brought their cuppa with them? So you can bring this negative in here if you want to, and just do this little bit down the corner in here. And it just sort of gives it a little bit of easy. Okay, you can decorate up as much as you want. You can even add this little bit of chain if you wanted to the top of your card, or you can add it down here to the bottom of your card if you want to add it, or you can leave it and use it on another card. So let's get our paper trimmer because we need to score our card. My cards are always my basic card, okay? So you need to score this at 10.5, unless I tell you otherwise. And we just come down with our light grey blade. I've had a few inquiries about what have you done here so you can see your numbers. I've just lightly glued with some seal, which is the seal, this one here, onto my white cardstock, and I've just run it down there because quite often I can't see the numbers, so I can see the numbers really clearly by, let me see if you can see, which is quite good. It just helps when you're doing different types of fun fold cards that I've been doing for our April, May. Now I have a couple of spaces left, not many, they're booking out fast. I have a couple of spaces left for the fun fold class, which is running through April and May because it's our bonus month. Oh my God. For Mother's Day and Easter, you'll get 2 tickets, not just one raffle ticket, you'll get 2. One will be for your door, like a door prize, so someone will win a mystery gift, And the other one will be for this beautiful glass mat studio. But if you've already got a glass mat studio, you can take out in products to the value of the glass mat studio. So the tickets will be drawn on the tickets will be, I'll do the numbers in April, right at the beginning of April, our first class. And then the very first class in May will be our raffle tickets again. And then hopefully someone will get this for Mother's Day. So we need to put the inside in. Let's do this. Now I have slowed down a little bit because I got asked to slow down a little bit because there is some people that like to craft along with me, and I love that. So thank you for crafting along if you're crafting along with me. I love that idea. And we're just going to put our little, oh, we do not want it like that. That's the one good thing about the multi-liquid glue is that you do have a little bit of wiggle space. And I wiggled that a lot. Okay. So this is our happy birthday. How gorgeous is that one? So now we have a little break until 1:45, and then we come back and do card number 8. Now I give a gap between each one, so when I load them over onto my YouTube channel, I'm just going to bring this up so I'm talking. Hi Janice. So when I load them up onto my YouTube channel, you can look for which card you've got to do in your kit. So it'd be card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, etc. And you just have to click onto that one. So you don't have to scroll through 2 hours of videos to find the card that you want. So we're going to take a short little break. So let's come back at 1:45 to start our next card number 8. Thank you for joining me this morning, and God bless you all, and I'll see you very shortly.